Good day everyone, I am Kyla Afan from Mathematics 3B. Exercise 7.4 Item 3. Using Table G, find the values for chi-square left and chi-square right. So we have letter A. Alpha is equal to 0.05 and n is equal to 12. B. Alpha is equal to 0.10, n is equal to 20. C. Alpha is equal to 0.05 and n is equal to 27. D. Alpha is equal to 0.01 and n is equal to 6. Letter E. Alpha is equal to 0.01 and n is equal to 41. So, this is the G table or the chi-square distribution table. To get our degrees of freedom, we will use the formula n minus 1. And for the chi-square right, the formula is alpha divided by 2. And for the chi-square left, the formula is 1 minus the chi-square right or alpha divided by 2. So, let's begin. Letter A. Alpha is equal to 0.05 where n is equal to 12. So, to find our degrees of freedom, n minus 1, which is 12 minus 1, is equal to 11. And for the chi-square right, 0.05 divided by 2 is equal to 0.025. And for the chi-square left, 1 minus 0.025 is equal to 0.975. So here is our degrees of freedom. And let's locate the value of 0.025 under the 11 degrees of freedom. So the answer is 21.920 for the chi-square right. And for the chi-square left, which is 0.975 under 11 degrees of freedom. The answer is 3.816 for the chi-square left. So, let's move on to letter B. Alpha is equal to 0.10 where n is equal to 20. So, n minus 1 or 20 minus 1 is equal to 19. So, for the chi-square right, 0.10 divided by 2, excuse me, 0 is equal to 0.05 and chi-square left, 1 minus 0.05, which is equal to 0.95. So, our degrees of freedom is 19. And for the chi-square right, it is under 0.05. So, the answer is 30.144 for the chi-square right, and for the chi-square left is 10.117. So that's letter B. Now letter C. Alpha is equal to 0.05 where n is equal to 27. And for the degrees of freedom, 27 minus y is equal to 26. So for the chi-square right, 0.05 divided by 2 is equal to 0.025. And for the chi-square left, 1 minus 0.025 is equal to 0.975. So, our degrees of freedom is 26 and our chi-square right is under 0.025. The answer is 41.923. And for the chi-square left, the answer is 13.844. So, that is letter C. And letter D, alpha is equal to 0.01 and n is equal to 6. N minus 1 is equal to 5. So, our degrees of freedom is 5. For the chi-square right, 0.01 divided by 2 is equal to 0.005. And for the chi-square left, 1 minus 0.005 is equal to 0.995. So, under the degrees of freedom, 5, our answer for the chi-square right is 16.750. And for the chi-square left is 0.412. So, that's letter D. Let's move on to last letter E. Alpha is equal to 0.10 where n is equal to 41. N minus 1 is equal to 40. So, chi-square right is equal to 0.10 divided by 2 equal to 0.05. Chi-square left, 1 minus 0.05 is equal to 0.95. And our degrees of freedom is 40. So let's locate. For the chi-square right, the answer is 55.758. And for the chi-square left, the answer is 26.509. So that's how we get the chi-square left and chi-square right using the G table or the chi-square distribution table. That's all. Thank you.
Let's proceed to the another exercises. By the way, I'm Jessamine D. Espino from Besides Math 3B, and my assigned topic to be answered in exercises 7.4, confidence interval for variances and standard deviations. Number 11, oil changes. A service station advertises that customers will have to wait no more than 30 minutes for an oil change. A sample of 28 oil changes has a standard deviation of 5.2 minutes. Find the 95% confidence interval of the population standard deviation of the time spent waiting for an oil change. Here are the given. The sample space, which is 28 oil change. The sample standard deviation, which is equal to 5.2 minutes. The degree of freedom is equal to 9 minus 1. The n is 28 minus 1 is equal to 27. The confidence interval level, which is equal to 95%. The alpha level is equal to 1 minus the confidence interval level. So 1 minus 0.95 is equal to 0.05. The chi-square in right tail is equal to alpha divided by 2, or 0.05 divided by 2 is equal to 0.025. And the chi-square in left tail is equal to 1 minus 0.025, which is equal to 0.975. So for us to know the chi-square, we will use the chi-square distribution table. So let's start. As you can see, the degree of freedom is 27, and in the left tail is 0.975. 0.975 in 27, which is equal to 14.53573, and in the right tail, which is 0.025, and in 27 degree of freedom, which is equal to 43.194. So this is the formula in getting the variance, and this is the formula in getting the standard deviation. So let's start. The formula in variance is equal to, the variance is less than 9 minus 1 multiplied by sample variance over the chi-square in right tail, less than to n minus 1 multiplied by sample variance over chi-square in left tail. So let's substitute the given value. 28 minus 1 multiplied by 5.2 squared over 43.194. And in here, 28 minus 1 multiplied by 5.2 square over 14.573. Therefore, the answer in variance is less than 16.9, but greater than 50.1. Therefore, you can be 95% confident that the true variance for the time apart spent waiting for an oil change is between 16.9 and 50.1. And this is the formula in getting the standard deviation. We will just put an square root in the variance. Therefore, the square root of 16.9 and the square root of 50.1 is the standard deviation is less than 4.1 but greater than 7.1. Therefore, you can be 95% confident that the true standard deviation for the time apart spent waiting for an oil change is between 4.1 and 7.1 minutes, based on the sample of 28 oil change.